Hey guys, it's me again. I hope you had fun when you did the lesson on telling time. On telling time, we counted our numbers by fives and our ticks by ones. Well, this lesson's going to be about counting money. You have to learn to identify coins and to be able to count money. This is something else you have to know for the rest of your life, no matter what you do. So, we're going to work on counting money today, since we know how to count by fives and count by ones. This is a review, so it should be easy for you. Remember, a quarter is 25 cents. We have 5 hairs, and that's what a quarter looks like. A dime is 10 cents, has 2 hairs, and this is what the dime looks like. A nickel is 5 cents, and it has 1 hair, and that's what the nickel looks like. A penny has 1 dot, and that's what our penny looks like. Our penny's the only one that is copper. It's a different color. So if it's a different color, it's going to be represented by dots. The only coin that's hard to tell is the quarter if you're looking at the back, because the back of all quarters look different because they have a quarter for every state. So let's make sure that we practice with different coins where we don't get our nickel and our quarter confused. The quarter is a little larger than the nickel. You need to practice at home with all your coins to make sure that you can identify which ones are quarters, which ones are dimes, which ones are nickels, and of course pennies are the easiest because they're a different color. We're going to count our hairs by fives and our dots by ones. We're going to work a couple of problems together. If you look at this first problem, we have 1 quarter, which is our largest coin. So we're going to start with our largest coin, and we're going to draw a circle and put a Q for quarter. Our quarter has how many hairs? 5. So we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hairs. So we've used the quarter. Our next largest coin in value, not size, is our dime. And there's not any. Then our next largest coin is a nickel in value. And we have 1, 2 nickels. So I need 2 circles and an N for nickel. Nickels have 1 hair. So I'm going to put 1 hair on each nickel for 5 cents. Our pennies are the smallest, and they're different colors, so we have 2 pennies. So I'm going to draw my pennies below and put a P for pennies. And we talked about pennies are a different color. They're just a dot. So now let's count all of our hairs. And we count our hairs by what? Fives. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we have 35 cents in hairs. Now we count our pennies by ones, because dots are counted by ones. So right after 35 cents, we have 36, 37. There are 2 ways to write 37 cents. The first way, we have 37 and it's cents. If I have a cent sign, I don't use a dollar sign. It equals the same if I had a dollar sign. 37 cents is not 100 cents. It's less than 100 cents, so it's not enough for a dollar. So we have no dollars. We separate our dollars and our cents with a decimal point. We have 2 place values for our cents. If I had 37 cents, that takes up 2 place values, 37. If I use the dollar sign, I do not need a cent sign. You need one or the other. So 37 cents is the same thing as 37 cents. Two different ways to write it. Let's do the next one. This is our set of coins. Which coin has the largest value? Not size, value. That's right, it's the quarter. So we're going to X it out because we're going to draw 1 quarter. And how many hairs does that quarter have? That's right, 5 hairs equals 25 cents. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 5 hairs. Now, which coin has the largest value? Not size, but value. The dime. That's correct. We have 2 dimes. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw 2 dimes. Our dimes are worth how much? 10 cents. So how many hairs equals 10 cents? 2. 5, 10. 5, 10. Now we look for the next largest value. Not size, but value. And that would be our nickel. So we need to draw 1 nickel. How much is a nickel worth? 5 cents. How many hairs do I need to show 5 cents? 1 hair for 5. Now we have 1 copper penny. So we're going to put our penny down here because our penny is not a hair, it's a what? It's a dot. That's right. So we're going to count our hairs by what? Correct, by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. We have 50 cents worth of hairs. Now we count our dots by 1. So if I have 50 cents and I add 1, I would now have 51 cents. The 2 ways you can write 51 cents, if I'm using the cent sign, we just write 51 cents. That's how much change we had. Now if I use the dollar sign, is 51 cents enough for a dollar? No, we need 100 cents or more to make a dollar, so we have no dollars. And we need 2 place values. 51 takes up 2 place values, so we have 51 cents. Those are the 2 ways to write 51 cents. The last one that we're going to do together today. What is the coin with the largest value? That's right, a quarter. How many quarters do we have? That's right, 2. That's a quarter, and this is a quarter. The backs of quarters are all different, so they're the hardest one to determine. So you have to know that a quarter is larger than a nickel. So we're going to draw 2 circles and put Q's in them for quarters. How many hairs does a quarter have? That's right, 5. To show 25 cents. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now what's the largest value coin? The dime. It's not larger than the nickel, but the value is more than the nickel. A dime is worth how many cents? 10 cents. So how many hairs do I need? Correct, 2 for 5, 10. Now the coin we have left is our nickel. So we're going to draw a circle and put an M for nickel, and it's worth how many hairs? Right, 1 hair for 5 cents. We don't have any copper pennies, so we don't have any dots. We're only counting by 5s. So let's count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. So we have 65 cents. Is that enough to make $1? No, we had to have 100 cents or more. So we have no dollars, and we have 65 cents. Remember, if you use a dollar sign, you don't need the cent sign. If you use a cent sign, you don't need the dollar sign. Both ways are correct, and they're both equal to one another. You're going to have to be able to count money for the rest of your life. Make sure first, my expectation is for you to know and be able to identify each coin and how much it's worth, its value. My next, be able to count your hairs by 5s and your pennies by 1s. My last expectation is to be able to write it in 2 different formats. That means to be able to write it with the cent sign and to be able to write it with the dollar sign. To identify the coins, that's a quarter, that's a dime, that's a nickel, that's a penny. You also have to be able to identify the coins by the back of the coin. That's a quarter, which the backs are all different. That's a dime. If you can memorize this picture for a nickel, you will be good, because no quarters have that picture, and those are the 2 coins that are mixed up the most. But a nickel is still smaller than a quarter. And then our penny. Penny's the easiest because it's a different color and it has a dot. I hope you do well on this. I miss you all. Bye. Have a great day.